The Office of the Chief Electoral Officer, Meghalaya, today organized a program on the occasion of the 12th National Voters' Day at the State Central Library Auditorium, Shillong, revolving around the theme of making elections inclusive, accessible and participative. Chief Secretary R.B. Suchiang graced the occasion as the chief guest. Chief Electoral Officer F.R. Kharkongor, East Khasi Hills DC and District Election Officer Isawanda Lalu, and other senior government officials, head of educational institutions, disability NGOs, creative artists, state and district BLO icons, disability icons and various youth organizations and students attended the program. Addressing the gathering, the Chief Secretary urged the election machinery to respond to the challenges of conducting elections during the pandemic, especially in the context of the forthcoming general elections due in 2023.
We all know that we would be going to the polls next year. So this year's theme is very relevant. The theme is making elections inclusive, accessible and participative. It is an extremely important day because it celebrates, the voter who's at the heart of democracy. You know why it's important to vote? I'm sure all of you must be knowing. It's very important to vote because, you as a voter have the power to decide the quality of life that you want for yourself, for your children, and for your future generation. It's very important to know what you want, the well-being of, your people, your society, and you can do this by highlighting issues. You want better roads, you want schools in your village, you want water, you want electricity. How else can you do this? How else can you do this? You can do this by participating as a voter. If you don't vote, what happens is you give away your choice to make a change. And this is very, very important. There are people who don't vote, and then after the electoral process is over, and when they are not happy with the public representative, the MLA, what they do is they complain that he's not doing enough. Now, if you don't vote, then you don't complain, because then you've given away your choice. You've given away your voice, not just your choice, your voice to make a change. I was so happy to know that you now have a Form 12D, which enables senior citizens and people with disabilities to vote from home and not come to to the polling station. So it's very important to get rid of all these barriers and difficulties and sheer lethargy of a section of the people, young voters, who don't want. They say that a single vote doesn't count. But mind you, it's not. If everyone says that a single vote doesn't count, then there'll not be any elections. It's important. Even a single vote counts for the purpose of election. So I hope that the CEO will try and ensure that all categories of people, especially the youth, come forward and participate fully and enthusiastically. Now, with the advent of technology and online engagement, I'm sure that the youth and the urban voters will participate in greater numbers, and in doing so will reach a situation where no voter is left behind, which is one of the objectives of the Election Commission of India. There are challenges to conduct of elections during the pandemic. We've seen these difficulties, but I'm very happy to note that the state has risen to the occasion. They've conducted the by-elections very successfully last year. However, conducting the elections next year for 60 assembly constituencies and about, I think, CEO mentioned 3,555 polling stations all across the state will call for greater marshalling of not just human but also logistical resources. And I hope that you start doing this work right away from today onwards. 1 year is hardly much time.
Highlighting initiatives taken to make elections inclusive and accessible, CEO F.R. Kharkongor stated that the ECI has adopted the latest technologies and initiatives to reach out, educate, and improve electoral literacy.
This eventful journey that was launched by the Election Commission has led to the empowerment of voters and all stakeholders in strengthening democracy brick by brick in India over these last 7 decades. I would like to touch on a few brief highlights. The ECI, the Election Commission of India, has always adopted a very progressive and dynamic approach by adopting the best technological management devices and practices globally, by adopting latest technologies to augment the public confidence in the integrity of the election process. The ECI continues to take several initiatives to optimize the potential of the ICT, or the information communication technology, to enhance service delivery to all stakeholders, and to improve electoral literacy by way of extensive use of apps such as the NVSP. We just saw in the choreography that was performed a few minutes ago about how it was useful not to stand in line, but also to do it online. So it continues to have various technologies like the NVSP, the voter helpline app, which can be downloaded on your phone, and you can register with the comfort and ease from your homes, and the BLO Garuda app, which the BLOs have used. We are also celebrating the BLOs today because the BLOs are the foot soldiers of democracy. They are the dynamic link between the voter and the election machinery. And we will be our Chief Secretary will be felicitating the district as well as the state BLO icons on the occasion of the 12th National Voters' Day in recognition of the tremendous contribution of all the BLOs. The ECI continues to attach very high importance to the special needs of the people with disability to ensure there's inclusive elections. We have been providing assured minimum facilities at the polling stations, but this year, as mentioned by previous speakers, there have been special outreach activities in the form of the Form 12D, which allows people with disabilities, senior citizens above 80, and also those who are COVID infected to vote from the comfort of their homes, where the BLOs go to the homes of those people of these categories, and those who opt for them, they can vote from the comfort of their homes. This was tried out in the last by-elections to the 3 constituencies of Maurungkneng, Mauflang, and Rajabala, and we had about 300 such people. And it was an exercise which gave us a glimpse into how we can reach the vote to the doorstep of these categories. In the coming 2023 elections, of course, it will be a much larger number of people who will perhaps opt, and I urge the election machinery to gear up for this challenge ahead.
Earlier in the day, a walkathon, Walk for Democracy, was also flagged off by the Deputy Commissioner, East Khasi Hills District, Desa Vandalalu.
samla kali tongin yayeng tuli bangin wan raya kajingkela kumbalong haki formenswa barong ikwaban yoman ya kajing ba kori bai dumen bareng ngatrang bapan kursoy panyam jing sung yasliang kakajingim kon samla kali tongin yayeng tuli bangin mo